Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to another episode of It's Look Who It Is. Now, I forgot to record the episode again because I was kind of busy tonight, and so you know what that means. But don't worry. We win these. It's a jury run. No, it is a Haru run. I baited you. You fell into my trap. You have no idea the levels that I'm operating on. I'm moving different, not just lucrative. I'm moving differently on planes and dimensions you cannot fathom. Anyways, what are we doing today? It's so simple. We're not running away. We have money, and it's time to just go. It's time to beat them up. It's time to go to history club. An extracurricular activity at a high school that a Yakuza member definitely goes to. An adult Yakuza member definitely goes to this high school. He definitely goes to this history club. He is definitely a member. He is definitely moving different, and he is definitely moving lucrative because he has the money. He's also cursed, though. He can't have any friends. And so here we are. Let's get a high school dress code appropriate outfit, and let's get ready to go to the after school curricular activity of the history club. I don't know why I keep harping on about this. The history club is like not the key thing to what are these mysteries? What are these mysteries? Oh my god, we're going thaumaturgy, teacher. You hate to see it. All right. Hardware shop. This one. Thank you so much. Now what do? Very simple, very shrimple. You go prep, then you wait. You wait until you take sanity damage. You get greedy. Because healing is important. It's beautiful. Now that's value. That is value, chat. We're looking pretty good about that. Now, of course, the first enemy is a ghost. But that's okay. Because really, the real ghosts were the friends that we made along the way. And then the friends died, and they're ghosts now. That's why they're the real ghosts. I don't know where we're going with this. I'm sorry, I don't know where we're going with this. We're just kind of in hell for no reason, but at least this place is safe. We're not investigating the downtown twice. Why would we do that? Me when one bite definitely won't hurt. You're goddamn right. Roll a nat 4. You feel good about that, chat. I'm gonna be real with you. I go through this like ebb and flow of wanting to do a D&D thing, or like not a D&D thing, but like, you know, it's the Google of role-playing games. I'm sorry. Like, you just automatically default to saying want to play D&D. I'm not even joking. Like, the thing that I was about to bring up was Cyberpunk Red, for, if you know, a very obvious reason. If you don't know, clueless. I am the bearer of the curse, and I do indeed know. So, here's the deal, right? I've been like, wanting to kind of get in and out of it, because I really want to DM something, but I don't know if I would be good at it. But the only way to get good at it is, you know, like, try? And then, like, figure out where you're, like, struggling with it. But I really want to. And the thing that I'm interested in running about Cyberpunk Red is they came out with an April Fool's... Like, it's an April Fool's thing, but it's, like, a legitimate... I guess it's like a, It's not an expansion. It's not big enough to be an expansion. But it's like a... Whatchamacallit? Like a supplement? Is that the word? Or are supplements expected to technically be bigger? First enemy Gore student, by the way. Second enemy's gonna be the school. The second enemy was the education system the whole time? No way, bro. That's crazy. And I really do want to... that's the wrong one. This is the right one. Here we go. I'm just doing it preemptively in case, so I don't forgore skull emoji. So, they came out with this, like, material, I guess, where it's an official collaboration between Cyberpunk Red and Valhalla. You know, the Cyberpunk waifu bartender booze 'em up. You know? So, they came out with a collaboration where you get, like, new game mechanics, new stat blocks, stuff like that. I actually don't know if this is worth it. Because this is gonna do 9, right? So I guess it doesn't really matter. As long as we block every time, we're not gonna lose value here. Actually, did I miscalculate that? Did that do more? Because we were at 22, right? And then we ended with 4? Am I insane? I'm not paying attention. That's bugged. I don't want to pay attention to it. It's arcane insanity. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't work properly. I'm not going to pay attention to it. So here's the deal, right? It's like new game mechanics, stat blocks, that sort of thing. And it's got like reworked lore to sort of like work Valhalla characters into Night City, but I think it would be more of a neat idea to just sort of work in Cyberpunk Red into Glitch City, I guess. The lore is all there, basically. It would need a little bit of tweaking, but I think it would definitely be doable. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff that you could do. Because, like, listen, it is a porn bait gacha game, okay? But Girls Frontline, I will never forget the Valhalla collaboration. That shit made me cry. I was emotionally distressed. It didn't give me, like... I don't think it ever reached as far as something like a Nier Automata. But it did reach pretty far. Like, it hit me harder than most games do. I guess we could do School Scissors. We have enough Smonks, I'm pretty sure. And if we don't have enough Smonks, we could just get Lucky Lamau. Totally, totally. I actually think it's a bad idea to sell these items immediately, because what if we get -2 funds randomly? In which case we would want to fish for Jar of Blood before selling those two things. It'll probably be fine. I can't really imagine it would be that much of a big deal. We can go ahead and take Charisma, I think. I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that. We might need to get Charisma up to 8 or whatever. I think I'm alright with that. Can we do, I mean, that's pretty good. You gotta take the hits when you can. You gotta go with you gotta roll with the best hits when you can. I'm not even slamming the door in your face, bro. Absolute disrespect that you would show up. You would shove my friend out of the way, out of the picture frame. Ugh. Yeah, I think we can just pretty easily just block attack here. That goes pretty well. And we guarantee kill on the next round. We take 1 stamina, feels pretty good. But, like, I would really love to run something like that just because it sounds really interesting. Because you can do... That's the fun thing about a role-playing game, right? Is, like, because you're not communicating with the server, you don't really have to worry about, like, limitations of, like, the mechanics or what was developed into the game. Because the game is imagination to an extent, you know? So, it's more like... you can do whatever the hell that you want, and then the mechanics are there to facilitate things that you don't want to think about, right? Because here's the thing. You want to tell, like a grand fantasy or, like, a high fantasy story, right? And you want your players to roleplay in that. But also, you need, like, to know how fast an arrow flies through the air. You know? Like, does that make sense? Like, that to me is the good thing about role-playing systems. And a lot of people, I guess maybe I would be, like, a weird person for a group. But the thing is, okay, combat is good. I think combat is mechanically interesting, and it lets you... This is better, because we can buy Smonks with it, and Smonks get our sanity up. Like, don't think about the temporary, immediate sanity gains. Think about the long-term Smonk gains. Think about buying drugs, yes. Ooh, addiction. So I feel like I would be particularly weird for role-playing because, yes, combat is good because it's how you directly build your character, and it's how you, like, directly interact with the world, with the mechanics of how the game works. Because that's what, like, a lot of these, like, you read these books, right? A lot of these books... for, like, role-playing systems, they cover, like, they're mostly just covering combat and equipment. And the reason for this, in my opinion, is if you play the game by the rules, you are just gonna have, like, just like a slugfest, just constant murder, massacre of, like, just of violence, really, right? And that can be fun if that's what you're in the mood for, but I feel like you can do that really well in, like, any video game, right? Like, just any video game that exists, you could just do that, like, really, really well. And so, what I'm more interested in is sort of, like, the free-form storytelling of what you could do in a roleplay setting. And so, I think... But here's the thing, the way that I interpret those books, like, when I read a book and it's just like, you know, here's your class, here's what you can do in combat, here are all the levels, here are all the feats that you can get, stuff like that, here are all the combat augments that you could get. I think of stuff like that as basically being the mechanic of, like, when a fight happens in your world, this is how it happens, you know? It doesn't have to be, like, I think there should be, like, a fight or some sort of confrontation semi-regularly, because, like, people are building their characters to fight. Like, again, that's the mechanical purpose of the game. But you could have long-form, like, role-playing sections, and you don't need the rules of the game for that. And that's the important part, because if you're doing a role-play thing with your friends, and you want to do, like, anything that's out of combat, basically, you don't really need complicated rules from a complicated system. But when you want to do combat, if you want that combat to have depth, that's why those rules are there, at least in my opinion. Now, I might be a heretic, I might be crazy, I might be insane. You might want to put me down like a rabid dog after what I've been saying, after what I've been yapping about. But I think that, at least for me, and obviously, like, this is what I believe to be true. Oh, the price hike. How dare you? You fear you could get used to it? The price hike? Absolutely not. The thing is, you should be in a group that is, like, conductive to what you want to do, right? So it's like, I would want, like, I do want combat, obviously, because I think combat is cool and it can be tense, but I don't want it to be, like, not necessarily the main source. I guess for me it would be like, you have a session, and then there's like one scene of combat in that session, but the players could maybe, like, work their way around the combat, you know? Like, I think that, because a lot of video games that are combat-driven, they have, like, I don't know, it's so weird, right? Because I'm thinking about it, and it's like, a lot of games that are combat-driven, they have to have the plot moved forward by combat. But, like, what are the most memorable things that you can think of in a video game, right? Is when the video game lets you win without performing combat and just, like, outsmarting your opponent or, like, just doing something interesting, right? Like, I'll never forget when I played Fallout New Vegas, you could... And I think this is what I did on my first playthrough, but it's been so long ago that I don't really remember. And I don't remember if I did it on the live stream playthrough either. But you could, when you were fighting the Caesar's Legion guy, the Caesar's Legion guy, you could talk to him before fighting him. And you always had the option to just say, like, alright, I'm gonna kill you. Let's beat him to death with hammers. But what you could do is you could barter with him. You could use the mercantile skill, not as a way to, like, pay him off or bribe him, but, like, to say, like, hey, I know about, like, trade and, like, the logistics of what you're doing. It's doomed to collapse. And he would agree with you. And he would say, well, yeah, all right, you're right. Like, you could convince him that what he was doing was doomed to fail, and if he really cared about, like, what Kaisar's Legion was trying to do, he would stop, because what he's trying to do is unsustainable and would collapse everything, and he would lose everything that he cares about. And then he just leaves without combat. Like, that's really strong storytelling. Like, you can kick his ass if you want to. You can beat him to death with hammers. You can beat him to death with lasers. But you don't have to. And I think that's the thing that, like, a lot of games, they give you... a lot of games, I don't think they give you that opportunity. Because it's very hard to work around, right? Like, it's very hard to balance, it's very hard to work around, and, like, players want to fight things, because that's, like, the mechanics of the game, you know? But I don't know, it's just, like... It's just really interesting when I think about stuff like that, and it would be like... I would want to try to offer solutions like that, where it's like, hey, if you're smart enough, or not even smart enough, if you're just charismatic enough, where you can think up something on the spot to get you out of trouble, like, it would actually work. Like, I think that's such an interesting idea of how you could potentially tell a story. And I remember there was some RPG that I watched, I think it was a Mandalore video, where you went to, like, hell to fight the final boss, but you could just talk to the final boss, and just, like, convince the final boss to stop. And then the final boss would agree with you. Like, that shit is so memorable. I don't even remember the name of the game, but that shit is just so memorable and interesting to me. And I think that that's something that an RPG, like a tabletop RPG, could do really well. And also, I've heard about, like, you get EXP for killing things in some games, but then there's also a milestone system where you level up at specific points in the story. I think that's way better, because I don't... Like, if you gain EXP from murder, from a little murder, you know, what's gonna happen is your players are just gonna kill everything that moves, right? Like, they're just gonna attack literally everything that moves. They're gonna try to pick optional fights. They're not gonna settle things peacefully. It's not gonna go well if you want to, like, encourage your players to, like, you know, try to do things that are non-hostile, I suppose. And I've really been thinking about it, because I have a few Final Fantasy XIV acquaintances who like role-playing, and they are interested, potentially, but I don't know. I don't know, like, how much it takes to do something like that, because I've never done it before, you know? I've never gone under the undertaking of, like, making a campaign, I guess. But the thing is, I've heard a lot of people say you should run, like, a pre-built campaign. I can't. I cannot do something like that. I would rather die. It would go off the rails so fast of the predetermined story, because I would get so bored. I would get so bored. I'm not gonna lie to you, I would get insanely bored very quickly. Like, I guess it depends on what it would be, right? Because if it's a pre-built campaign that has a lot of, like, free flow potential into like what you and your group wants to do, that would be kind of interesting. But if it's like here is a definitive campaign that you can play from beginning to end, and all you have to do is, like, read the script and describe it how the book tells you to describe it, I would want to die. I would not, I couldn't do that. I would be so bored. I would, and I would probably screw it up, too, because I would get bored, and then I would, like, ham up some extra detail that doesn't matter, and then, like, ruin something later down the line. I would, I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be able to do it. Oh god. Well, we should do Fear Festival now, because there's only one combat in Recluse. But maybe that's exactly why. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Actually, that's actually so true, bestie. There's only one combat in Recluse, and it's a very important combat. I think... You're gonna think I'm crazy here. I think we're gonna get the bad ending here on purpose. I think we're gonna get the bad ending here on purpose. I guess it doesn't really matter, because it's the same amount of investigations, right? Ryoko, you're cool. You're so cool, bestie, but I don't think you help us at all. Yeah, I don't think it actually matters, because we have to investigate it 4 times, no matter what, right? Because... yeah, you have to investigate it 4 times, because you can't do the thing anymore. You would just wait at the camp the whole time, right? It's a free action now. It just costs doom. Ah, never mind. Never mind. Well, we investigated it twice, so it doesn't matter. Beat him to death with hammers. With lasers. Yeah, it's just 4 actions. It's just 4 actions. Oh, no! It's just 4 investigations. It doesn't count. No. I'm so sad. We need to keep the fire axe to throw as a as like a normal weapon. We can do it. We can do it. Yeah. You're done. You're done. You're done, tree lady. Get out of here. Take off your jacket. I love losing dexterity. I love losing dexterity. Rabid about losing dexterity. Rabid about losing health. I love losing health. It's so cool. 7 smonks. 7 smonks in hand, in one single hand. Oh, no. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. No. Okay, we're probably just gonna... you know... it's only 3% Doom for one of the best items in the game, so I can't be mad. We're also doing insanely well on Doom, so it doesn't really matter to begin with. Also, we buy ourselves another Coughing Blood with a spiral hoodie like this. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. So we're just dead, right? Like, it's just over? It's just Jover? We saved Recluse for last? Oh, no. No! We're gonna run out of Smonks! Please! Please! Smoke an old cigarette from your cigarette case, please! We got strength. We eat those. Please, 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 cigarette case, I've never believed in you more. Let's go! Saved! I mean, we could just take the Doom, that's fine. Me and core strength Rutsu. We're so screwed. I have to put a point up into knowledge just so that our fund does like 1 more damage. That's so sad. Oh, hold on. You can put the library notes away. You can't throw those, but you maybe can throw the stuffed toy. Do we have any curse worth getting rid of? These are not curses, these are injuries. You can't bless your way through an infected wound, god damn it. Is this a safe location? No. We don't really need the Doom reduction, please. Please, I beg you. Please. We made it! We didn't need the cigarette case. Actually, I think we did because we used it twice. And we have 2 cigarettes. So actually, hold on, you know, never mind. I retract the statement. Thank you, cigarette case. I appreciate everything you've ever done for me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, chat. I mean, we can either do... okay. Hold on. Fire axe, go. Uh-oh. Okay, wait, no, this is fine. Oh, you can't sell during... oh, no! You can't sell during combat. I'm stupid. Go, gadget. Okay, here's what we do, We do this. Then... this is gonna do 10 damage. Throw the spiral hoodie. Okay, there we go. Two sanity. 2 sanity and a fetid fume. Me and fetid fume Rutsu. I guess it doesn't matter. Kind of. I mean, it kind of matters. It kind of matters. Oh, okay. We got homie at the end there. And by the end there, I mean homie at the end of our cigarette run. I actually wasn't paying attention to the rest of the lighthouse, so let's just do that, huh? Feels pretty good, right? I don't need to pay attention. Why would I need to pay attention when I can just fully heal and we don't have Innsmouth looks, so I don't have to worry about that? Yeah. Real true? Yeah, true. I'm just gonna hit it one more time, just in case I miscalculated. Alright, cigarette case, you have the chance to do the greatest thing of all time. Let's go! Are we in, chat? No! It ran out in the investigation. Sad. We're still probably fine, right? I don't actually want to take like 8 more billion damage from Homeboy, but how dare you miss? Like, that just is messed up. I remember my second enemy, do you? Second mystery was School Scissors. Okay. We'll beat him to death with scissors. I love that video so much, where it's like, okay. We'll beat him to death with lasers. I love that shit so much. I absolutely love that shit so much. Told you we would win. Did I say we would win earlier? Now, here's the question. Are we gonna win in Pokidoku? Are we gonna go for the Wait, when did I mute myself? Oh god, how long have I been muted? I don't think I've been muted that long. I think I probably hit it when I was typing Pokidoku. You would never play Pokidoku while the episode is already late. What the hell is a bug fairy? Okay, this is, Wormpole. Bug Hoenn. Hoenn is Gen 3, right? So we can just do Silcoon. A bug fairy. I'm dead. It's the kill shot. I'm dead. Psychic fairy? That's probably Gardevoir, right? Yeah. Fairy middle evolution. Can we just keep going on the Clefairy? Clefairy is the middle evolution of fairy type? Okay. Curlia? Alright. Middle evolution has branched evolution. Hoenn Psychic. You're gonna hate me for this. Look who it is. Okay. Bug Fairy. Impossible. Literally impossible content. Fairy bug. What is a fairy bug? I don't know. Bug. Blip bug. Avalug. Iron. Jugulus. Hoenn middle evolution. I mean, we'll rep. That's not. Trico Septile. What's the second one, bro? No, hold on. Loudred. Obviously. We'll rep my boy Loudred. Has branching evolution paths, middle evolution. That's like difficulty level impossible content. Bug Fairy is worse because I literally have like no idea. A Buzz. Yeah, Buzzwole is a fairy for sure. No, what the hell is a bug fairy? I got nothing. Has branched evolution, middle evolution. There is some sort of water type, right? What am I thinking about? What is bro thinking about? Is it slow, bro? Huh, okay. Because I thought there was like slow bro, or like slow king in the other one. Kilowattrel. So true, bestie. Woobat. I think we're dying here. I think we're dying. We were never gonna get the 9X because I have no idea what a fairy bug is. Like, bug. Scatterbug. Rimbombi. And Poliwhirl! I knew there was like a water type that had a whatchamacallit. But what were the bug options? Cutiefly and Ribombee. Literally never gonna guess that. Could have done Poliwhirl or Gloom. Or whatever the hell a Cosmium is. Oh, Cosmium's the legendary, right? Gotcha, gotcha. Anyways, stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.